Now, media attention is focused, rightly, on the military and humanitarian aspects of this Russia-Ukraine conflict. But money and finance are a big part of the story. Not the source of dramatic film footage, no, but hugely important nonetheless. For this is now not just a military, but an economic war as well. Not just between Russia and Ukraine, but between Russia and the West. And that has consequences for all of us. Protesters across Europe have called for the West to throw Russia out of the international banking system known as SWIFT in a bid to cripple Putin's economy. The UK, US and Germany have now said that will happen, but that raises serious questions. Will Western Europe still be able to buy energy from Russia, which supplies 10% of the world's oil and 40% of Western Europe's gas? Some Western security sources privately warn excluding Moscow from SWIFT could spark a backlash, with Russia and China working together to set up a new global payment system that could then dominate Asia. And if Moscow has no skin in the game, sources say, SWIFT could then be vulnerable to Russian cyber attacks, which could seriously harm the Western economies. At the centre of this economic war, though, is energy, where China is also heavily involved. Back in 2019, Moscow and Beijing opened a brand new gas pipeline running from Russia to China, so Putin can keep selling Russian gas even if Europe imposes energy sanctions. The Russian president's been pivoting east since he took office more than 20 years ago, collaborating with China to diversify away from the West as a market for Russian oil and gas. Until quite recently, all Russian energy pipelines headed west to Europe. But the 3,000-kilometre Power of Siberia pipeline to China is now operational. And it runs alongside the first Russia-China oil pipeline, which opened in 2012. As Russia and China cement these energy ties and oil and gas prices spike, that raises big questions about Western energy security. British energy giant BP this morning confirmed it would sell its 20% stake in Russia's biggest oil company, Rosneft. But of more significance to millions of UK households, soaring prices for petrol and electricity as this conflict rages. The UK's embryonic fracking industry, which could help boost domestic oil and gas production, has been frozen since 2019. Sites to extract shale gas were prepared from Surrey to the northwestern Scotland. They're now inactive. That's because, bowing to environmental campaigners, ministers say that fracking is dangerous and should remain illegal. As Western Europe contemplates life without Russian oil and gas, that view could change. War is always about military conflict by definition, but financial and commercial conflict feature heavily too. And that's our On the Money question today. East-West economic war. How are you affected?